All right, let's get to the rest of the action through the weekend. Let's start with the Saints. Are the Saints the best team in the NFL?
They could be, yeah.
That's not
You
very
came
emphatic.
in. I was sitting here in the offices on the couch watching the football. And you walked into the office after that and declared that we had to put this game on the TV instead of the Broncos and the Chargers game.
Yeah, because
in addition
Eagles
to it being
Saints,
on Red Zone.
Eagles Saints are a much more
You
topical.
said it was a much more important game to be watching. We had to see that. There was no chance that the Broncos could win their game, but we
Right.
had to watch the Eagles and Saints.
That's correct.
And we proceeded to watch this one-sided ass-kicking for the next
Well, that's what
few
we need
quarters.
to do because that's what we're talking about today.
So
Because the
watched-
Broncos have no chance.
we watched this ridiculous one-sided game where the Saints just stomped the life out of the Eagles.
Yeah, we needed to see it.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It was ugly. I mean, I think this was a bigger indictment of the Eagles than it was an endorsement of the Saints.
Really?
We knew the Saints were good, but this exposed all of the failings of this Philadelphia team in one game and just kept hammering on that until time was up.
I don't know, but the Saints, I've mentioned it, a couple podcasts ago, whatever. They're winning games kind of like we've seen the Patriots do for many years now in just dominant form across the board.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Patriots always do that, but the way the Saints are playing right now,
They even ran the score up the way the Patriots do.
they played football, Sam. It's just playing football.
Sure. 4th and 7.
Yeah, because
minutes
honestly, the only way that the Eagles get back in that game is like a blocked punt, a fluke play, so you just play football. You just go for it, you play football, and then it's the job of the defense to stop the offense.
Yeah.
This whole idea that you have to run the ball to show sportsmanship is just
I didn't say run the ball.
get out of here.
It
No,
was
the people
4th
are
and
complaining.
7.
They're not
They took a
classy.
deep shot for a touchdown.
The only chance that the Eagles have to get back in that game is a fluke blocked punt or something like that. So you go for it. Chuck it deep. Sorry they can't stop Drew Brees in this offense. Sorry, Eagles fans.
Because nothing bad can happen on 4th and 7 when you're going for it.
Correct.
Okay.
Compared to like a blocked punt or a
Yeah.
blocked field goal. So just play football. The Saints are dominating across the board.
The Saints' offense is pretty scary. So their offensive line is extremely good. And this was with Jamon Bushrod at left tackle, not even with Teron Armstead.
Well, the quick passing game, Brees got
Right,
hit.
so that
Bushrod
helps.
gave up a little bit. The quick passing game can protect him.
Yeah, that's going to help. But the offensive line is really good. Drew Brees obviously is extremely good. He's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL. He's got a fantastic plethora of weaponry. Michael Thomas is his favorite target of his career. He has never thrown the ball at one player as much as he throws it at Michael Thomas now.
Highest target share.
Yeah, number 1 and number 2 throughout Drew Brees' career. So you think back to Marcus Colston, to Devery Henderson, all these Jimmy Graham, all these receivers that Drew Brees has thrown to in the past. Michael Thomas is number 1 in terms of where he wants to go with the ball. But then you get the emergence of Traquan Smith, the rookie, going deep, making plays like we saw in college. He's a viable weapon. You've got this wrinkle.
10 for 157, by the way, a 94.2 PFF grade.
You've got this continual wrinkle that is Taysom Hill, who got 13 snaps again. Runs the ball, throws the ball badly.
They threw the ball down the field with him.
Runs pass patterns. They had him. I mean, he was open for a touchdown. Drew Brees missed him / the other Hill, Josh Hill. I'm not entirely sure which one he was aiming for, but either way, he missed him. And then that running back tandem, Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. I mean, the 4th and 7 play was a perfect example of how you just can't stop everything, right? They lined up. The Eagles legitimately double-teamed Michael Thomas in the slot like he was a gunner on the punt team.
Right.
2 guys either side of him, shut him down because it's 4th and 7. Of course they're going to go to Michael Thomas. Drew Brees takes a look at it and goes, oh, that's nice. Touchdown to Alvin Kamara deep down the
just
sideline.
drops a
Right.
diamond on him.
You can't stop this offense. This offense has now put up, it's like an NFL record, I think, for most points over a 3-game period.
Yep.
It's, the 3rd highest all-time points average at the moment, behind the 2013 Broncos and some Rams team from the 50s. Wasn't that the graphic they put up?
1950 Rams. That one I can't believe. Yeah, look, just to put – Drew Brees is the best quarterback in the NFL this year. I know there's a lot of people that will say Patrick Mahomes, and it's close. Like, Mahomes has been outstanding, but throw for throw, Brees has been absolutely incredible. I don't care what the touchdown totals say, because that's essentially the argument for Patrick Mahomes. Throw for throw, Brees has been incredible because 1 interception, only 5 turnover-worthy plays,
Say that again. One interception.
One interception. He's got 24 touchdowns and one interception here in after week 11.
Right.
Which is incredible. So again, it's a real interception number. Only 5 turnover-worthy throws and Rodgers only has 1 interception too.
Nathan Peterman threw one from his couch this weekend.
Seriously, I believe it. Peterman throws 3 and his passer rating goes up.
Right.
But look who he threw to yesterday. Traquan Smith had 13 targets, and he's playing great. I mean, give him credit. Michael Thomas, of course, but then Dan Arnold, Keith Kirkwood, Austin Carr, who we loved coming out of college, Josh Hill. It's not like there's, I'm a big believer in the playmakers can elevate the quarterback, but then when quarterbacks are playing at a certain level, they make Keith Kirkwood catch 3 for 33. They make Dan Arnold catch 2 for 25. They make Austin Carr catch a touchdown. That's where Drew Brees is right now at a different level of play. When we put stats out last week, by the way, I'm assuming we've got some crossover with Chris Sims and Lefko, their show. I put a screen stat out there, and apparently Sims and Lefko on their show were saying, no, Mahomes is the clear MVP. It can't be Brees. He throws all screens.
Right.
Screens and slants, that's it. Which is this generic term for, like, I've seen a couple screens and slants that have been successful. I haven't really
he said something like, I estimate 40% of his yardage, whatever, has come on screens. It's not 40%.
Chris Sims, you're wrong.
That was Lefko.
Lefko, you're wrong.
Okay.
Calling him out.
Oh, nice.
Called him out. If they need information, they can come to us. If they want the actual numbers.
We've got PFF grading on Chris Sims, so if we really want to call him out, we can go into the archives.
I like Chris. Hung out with Chris over at the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Yeah, I met
nice
Chris
guy.
as well.
I like Chris.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if things get nasty in a podcast beef that we're creating right now.
I'm starting a podcast beef.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it goes bad, we can pull in the Chris Sims grading.
As much as I like Chris Sims, the human being, my goodness, I disagree with many of his football takes. I'm trying to be very polite, yet firm.
That's a terrible way of starting a beef.
Very polite, yet firm.
Okay.
I disagree with Chris Sims on football-related matters.
Vociferously.
90% of the time. I don't need a PFF grade for that. It's pretty much 85-90% of the time.
You're just doing what he did now.
40% of stats are made up.
You've got to go through and quantify all of his takes you disagree with.
Okay, I will. I'll put some numbers to my takes compared to
Michael Thomas is still catching over 90% of his targets.
That's insane.
90.
It's really insane.
It really is. So it sounds like one of those things. It's just, 90% of his targets. Yeah, that's a lot. But how a lot is that, right? Adam Thielen, who's having a ridiculously good season, is catching 75% of his targets. So 15% more than Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
It's an insane total. People do not catch 90% of their targets, ever.
Here's the one thing I'll do to pull back on the Drew Brees thing.
I do think back on the Twitter beef already.
No.
The podcast beef.
No, the beef's out there, Sims and Lefko. I don't even know Lefko.
Lefko's nice. I met him in the Bleacher Report offices.
Oh, so
they have better snacks than we do.
We're working our way up. We've got.
I know. I'm just saying.
Somebody bring me some M&Ms. Where are my M&Ms?
I'm just saying they have a better snack.
Give me some M&Ms.
Arrangement than we have.
I do. I'm sure they do. Drew Brees has been fantastic, but I do think it's this perfect storm of he's going to play 12 games in a dome. Did I say? And when he goes outdoors, he's playing this terrible Bengals defense, and they play the Giants. So the schedule, who's going to slow them down? They get the Falcons this Thursday. They got Dallas. Dallas has a good defense, but it's Dallas indoors.
Yeah. At
Tampa Bay, who's horrible defensively. At Carolina, and then 2 home games against the Steelers and Panthers.
This is why I was saying that the rest of the season is really important for the Rams because you don't want the Saints to be playing at home in the playoffs, right? I think the Saints are capable of going outside and playing well.
Are you telling me the Saints can't win a road game?
No. For the Rams, they do not want to have to go to New Orleans to win that game in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
They need that game to be at home. Now, it'll still be a hell of a game. The Saints are not exactly going to be an easy out, even if they have to travel on the road and go to Los Angeles. But it's a hell of a lot easier than it will be to go into the Superdome and win against this team because that's terrifying.
Defensively, Marshawn Lattimore, interception, pass breakup. I don't know what the deal was. I mean, underrated in this whole Saints offense is incredible and unstoppable deal is how the Eagles scored 7 points with Carson Wentz at the helm, and they're depleted in their secondary. Look, there was a lot of passes breezed through where their corners were actually in good position, and they did this. They're like, where's the ball? I don't know where it is. It was terrible.
Were abysmal.
But offensively, the Eagles should have been much better. Underrated in this whole thing was how bad Carson Wentz throwing arm punts left and right, and their inability to just move the ball. Carson Wentz's regression on third down is that's the difference in the Eagles' defense. He was unstoppable on third down last year.
Yeah.
This year he's stoppable on third down, and the offense just isn't the same.
So Eli Apple, after coming over in trade, first 2 games were pretty rough. Now, the first 2 were against the Minnesota Vikings and their receivers and Los Angeles and what they can do from a scheme point of view. But the next 2 games against the Bengals and the Eagles, who, okay, they're struggling right now, but both those teams should be able to pass the ball, right? I mean, Carson Wentz, Andy Dalton, they're 2 not bad offenses. Over the last 2 weeks, Apple has allowed 13 yards against the Bengals and 27 yards against the Eagles. So he's potentially actually starting to come around in this system.
And all we said was you have Lattimore on one side, who we think will get back toward that elite play, and then you have Apple, his former Ohio State teammate, on the other side, just needs to be better than Ken Crawley and P.J. Williams, who just had not been good at all.
PJ had a big game, though.
He did. I know, but to that point, he hadn't been good. Player of the week a couple weeks ago when he got torched.
Oh, God.
So, Saints are the best team in the NFL?
Yes.
Saints are the best team in the NFL right now.